Hey YouTube, Paul here with Patek. In this video, I'm going to do my first ever vehicle review with you. And this is the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Trailsport. And what's going to be a little different about this review is I bought this vehicle with my own money, so my opinions are going to be my own. I've got about 2,000 kilometers on it, and I put 3 or 4 tanks of gas through it so far. But I used to be a Honda instructor for 10 years, so I was actually teaching the first version of the Ridgeline when it came out way back in the day. That was in 2007. It was kind of a Hummer-esque type vehicle, and I wasn't all that thrilled with the aesthetics on it, but when this version came along, the 3rd gen, I was really impressed and just had to have one. So let's jump in, we'll get to it. Okay, so if we move to the front of the vehicle, the front end on the Honda Ridgeline Trailsport, or the Honda Ridgeline per se, is fantastic. You've got a really nice looking grille, terrific Honda badge there. You've got a Trailsport badge right here. That's how you know it's the mid-level trim. And you've got LED headlights here that kind of wrap around. They give you that eyebrow effect. I really like the subtle way that the gray blends into the black, and even the composite bumper, the combination with the darker gray and the composite black bumper, it just gives you a really nice subtle appearance. So again, just to go back here, LED headlights, LED fog lights, regular parking lights. You've got some really cool louver cutouts here. That helps with the aerodynamics on the vehicle. All in all, giving you a great looking front end. So as we carry along and look at the side of the vehicle, you've got 2 seams that run the full length of the side of the vehicle, one here and one here. And then you've got your polycarbonate sill guard running along as well. So it gives you a really nice kind of flow to the side of the vehicle. These lines flow right through the door handles. You've got your soft touch buttons for lock and unlock, which is really nice. And in case you're not aware, anytime you see a crease in the metal, that adds a lot of strength. Like, just imagine pushing against something that's flat as compared to pushing against a triangle shape. That's where you gain a lot of strength and rigidity from modifications like this, or design aspects that are built into the vehicle. Your tires, of course, on the 2024 Ridgeline Trailsport are all-terrain tires. They're 18-inch wheels. They're a little bit more aggressive than what you're going to get on the Sport model. You'll hear a little bit more noise than you would on the Sport model or the base model, but I've had the vehicle for 2 months now and I've got no complaints whatsoever. They make the cottage roads just disappear. So if you've been doing your research on the Trailsport, you're going to know that the bed of the Honda Ridgeline is where the magic happens. You've got this tailgate that opens up like this, or it opens down flat, and that's Honda's patented hinge mechanism on the far side, allowing that operation. And I'll just demonstrate it for you. Like so, pretty straightforward. Your rear camera is built in right here where the handle is, and I cannot tell you how much convenience this adds and reduces the strain on your back when you're loading and unloading stuff from the vehicle. It's just a total game changer. And so you've got 8 places where you can tie things down in the back. Your lights can be turned on manually from the switch just on the left side of the driver's seating position, on the left side of the steering wheel. If you buy the black edition, this little storage compartment here will have a 120 volt outlet. I'm not a contractor, I'm not sawing lumber in the back of this thing, so I didn't need that. So I've got a little glove box here, that's really what it equates to. But the real magic in this vehicle is this lockable hidden trunk. And you know, inside the trunk you've got your spare tire, you've got a jack, you can fill this up with drinks and ice, there's a drain plug in it. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this as far as innovation. And I was out for dinner last night with a really good friend of mine. He's a farmer, and he walked up to the vehicle, and the first thing that he noticed was that his Ford, he can't reach in and get to the bottom of the bed. And he was really interested in this vehicle when he saw it, because the bed on the Honda is a little bit higher than a full-size truck. And so let me sort of enunciate that clearly. The Ridgeline is a mid-sized truck. It's not full-size, but it's got almost everything that you would need on, you know, from a full-size vehicle in a mid-sized truck. So a lot of value here, folks. So I'm not suggesting that in an emergency you could use this as a bathtub, but the reality is you could. On the inside of the lid here, there's a safety latch. And that's in case, God forbid, a young child or something got caught in the trunk, they'd be able to pop out, and no safety issues that way. But this is just probably one of the most unique features on the Ridgeline vehicle itself, and I can't say enough good things about it. You know, between this, the two-way hinge that allows the gate to go down, the door to close like a door, you got a little bit of a glove box over here. Fantastic feature. So one thing I almost forgot, and that is your hidden trunk. When you walk away from the vehicle, it locks with the immobilizer system. But let's say you're going out for dinner at a valet restaurant and you want to lock some stuff in here, but you don't want to give the key or give access to the person that's parking your vehicle. So what you can do is you hit the button here, the key comes out. You can give this to the valet driver. He'll park your car for you, but you have to, when you pull down the glove box, you'll notice there's a switch there on the left-hand side. I think I mentioned it in another part of the video. And if you turn that off, then this thing can't be opened and your goods that are in here are going to be secure. It's a really great feature. Okay, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure the bed capacity on the Ridgeline is 1,450, 1,456 pounds, something like that. Your tow capacity is 5,000 pounds. You've got your trailer hitch here, your chain links for securing your trailer, and then just on the left-hand side, you've got your 7-way connector. You can get an adapter that goes 7-way down to the 4-pin. It's all built in on the Trailsport, along with a very attractive-looking dual exhaust system at the back end. Okay, guys, also on the back glass of the vehicle is heated. You've got a power-operated rear window there to give you some extra ventilation. So that means that your side mirrors are heated, the bottom of your windshield is heated, your back glass is heated. So this vehicle is going to get you through the winters in grand fashion. So new for me on the Ridgeline, your fuel filler neck. The button here to open the lid is here. There's no more cap anymore that we have to ratchet on to prevent the check engine light from coming on. So another great innovation. Okay, so under the hood, you've got Honda's 3.5 liter V6, 280 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque, 262 I think it is. You also have Honda's patented valve train mechanism, which is IV-Tech, which has been absolutely flawless since its inception. That's one of the ways Honda varies the power, is able to give you such a great mix of power and fuel economy. Change your oil twice a year, you won't have anything to worry about. You also get VTM4, which is the power delivery system, which will send 70% of the available torque to the wheel that's slipping. So all in all, this is a really reliable power plant. It's not a racing car, but it's more than adequate for towing up to the 5,000 pound limit that you can tow with this vehicle. And your bed load is about 1,460 pounds in the bed. So all in all, a really usable vehicle. So let's take a quick second and we'll talk about the trim on the Ridgeline Trailsport. You can see the badging on the headrest there. It's accented by nice orange stitching all around, both on the center armrest and on the seats, the seat backs, and then in the back of the vehicle, pretty much the same thing. You can see the faux leather interior, and one addition here in the back. You've got that nice center armrest console with cup holders and a little space for some bits and bobs, and some really nice touches. Okay, so let's take a look at the back seating and work our way forward. And again, here's Honda's great innovation. My previous vehicle, which I still have, is a 2015 Honda Fit, and that's the first time I saw this type of seating where you can just reach in, flip a lever, and fold the seats out of the way. And a lot of people love this if they have pets, and the other seat folds up in exactly the same manner. So it's a truly innovative feature. Okay, apologies for the lawnmower in the background, but this is really important. This little metal loop here is the anchor for the upper strap of your child seat, and there's one on both sides, and in the center position there's actually 3 anchors in the middle between the cushions, and I'll show you that as well. Let's take a look at that right now. So Honda's got these little buttons to mark the positions for the anchors, and the two outside seats have them. There's one here between the cushions, there's one over here, but there's three on the center seat. And that center one it allows the strap to go around the loops at the top, and that's important as well. So let's take a quick look at that. You'll notice at the top of the seat here, this heavy half-inch bar here, there's an opening right here, and your strap from the child seat comes up, goes around this, and then comes down and goes down to that anchor down at the bottom. And that's really important to be aware of. You don't take your clip and try and clip it on here. Now, one of the nice amenities that my 5-year-old grandson enjoyed just recently is this pull-down cup holder, and there's another space there for storing some small items. So I had one child seat on this side, one on the other side, and the grandkids had a great time. And in case you're wondering, the Trailsport does come with two headrests for the back seat. I just took them out for greater visibility. You notice the rear view the rear view glass is tinted. It's also heated, and it has the power window sectional in the center there for ventilation on those days when you want to have fresh air instead of air conditioning. Okay, leg room. For me, I'm 6'2" and shrinking, and I've got no problem with leg room in the vehicle. I mean, I can take the seat quite a ways back. I typically have it set here though. You got a release on the steering column. You can pull the steering wheel back or forward, tilt it up and down. So for myself, the front seat room is more than adequate for someone that's my height. Okay, so let's get into the back here. And as you can see, like my seating position is pretty much forward. Like, I don't have the seat extended all the way back by any stretch, but I do tend to put my seat back. I lean back quite a bit, and even with this setting here, I've got plenty of room to be quite comfortable here. Now, it would be a little snug in here with 3 people in the back, and the one thing I'd say to you, if you're looking at this vehicle for a young family or what have you, you'll find a lot more room in a Honda Odyssey van. But you can get 3 people in here, you can get your kids' seats in, and it's quite workable. Okay, also built into the rear center console here, you can see on the bottom left you've got a power port, you've got climate controls, left and right seat heaters. This comes with the Trailsport. It's part of the Trailsport package. You probably already noticed that the leather seats have this sort of an orange stitching trim on them, which is quite nice. It's subtle, I like it. And then your vents there for directing the airflow, and the climate control in the back can be locked out. So if the kids are playing with it, you have full control up the front from the master console. So another nice touch that Honda's given us in the bed of this vehicle is 8 hold-down anchor points, 4 at the front, 4 at the back. You never know, you're going to have to strap down a refrigerator or what have you. And it makes a great landing platform if you're a drone flyer like I am. And for those of you that are interested, most of this video is being filmed on the Sony a7 IV, my Pocket 3, and the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Okay, so finally we move to the interior of the vehicle, and you can see your buttons there on the top of the door for the side view mirrors, so you can program them. And they also control the seat position as well. So basically just press this button here, it beeps, and then press this button here and it locks it in for you. And you've got your one-touch up and down windows for the front doors, and then the back are just press the button manually, hold the button to take the windows up and down, and you can see just down a little bit lower there is your fuel unlock to unlock the lid, and you've got a plethora of storage on these doors, which I really like. And there's your speaker in the bottom right corner of the door. Okay, so here you've got your mirror controls for left, right, and neutral. And then you can adjust your mirrors with the manual button. You've got the eco mode here. So this is a fuel economy mode. It was on my Honda Fit. And if you're going to test drive one of these vehicles and you're going to do you want to take it out on the line someplace and punch it, try it both ways with the eco on and then take the eco off. And you can put the vehicle into sport mode as well. And you'll be surprised at the power the vehicle has. It's not a racing car, but it's definitely got enough get up and go for an everyday driver. So just down below the econ button, you've got a bank of 6 switches here. And this one is your parking indicator. You can turn this off if you want to. This is your vehicle stability assist. You can turn that off. Although I don't recommend it. cargo lights. You can turn them on at nighttime manually. This is your lane keeper assist, which after a month and a half with the vehicle, I've turned this off. I find it a little bit annoying. Basically, it wiggles the steering wheel if you get too close to the center line or you get too close to going off the side of the road. And this one here, I wouldn't touch this one. This is your crash mitigation. And so basically this vehicle will surprise you. If you're out on the highway and you get too close to the person in front of you, it will apply the brakes gently. And then if you get even closer, it'll apply the brakes aggressively and possibly save you from an accident. So it's a great feature that's built into this vehicle. And then last but not least, you've got your heated lower front windshield to heat up the area where the wiper blades are and break that ice, break the blades free from the ice. And I think it stays on for about 10 minutes and then shuts off automatically. Okay, so if you want to hear what the vehicle sounds like when it's idling, that's what you're listening to right now. It's about 110 degrees outside and very humid where I am, so I'm going to let the vehicle idle while I go through the appointments on the steering wheel. Now, on the Trailsport package, the steering wheel has this nice leather wrap on it. There's the orange stitching again. It's a really nicely appointed package, I have to say. Also, don't forget you've got paddle shifters here, which are primarily going to be used if you're towing. If you want to use the paddle shifters to shift up or down or hold a gear a little bit longer than the automatic system would have you do, then you have that option. Now, on the left-hand side here, you've got your home button, and I'll just bring this up here. You'll notice that when I press the home button, I can click this. Let me see here. There you go, so you can see it. Click this button here, and I can toggle through the different systems. So if I go back to home, and you can see you've got a whole range of, there's warnings, gauge display settings, brightness, no content, tire pressure, maintenance, all-wheel drive, torque distribution. It gives you a graphic display of what you have available. Navigation, and navigation basically just gives you a compass because the Trailsport doesn't have the navigation system built into the infotainment system. There's your phone, your audio system, speed and time, range and fuel, and warning. So we're back to the beginning. So basically you can do everything from the infotainment system. You can do the exact same thing here from just these two home buttons here, or this home button and this button here on the steering wheel, which is really cool. Volume up, volume down, track forward, track backwards, and then if you want to speak, you have that option as well. Okay, so over on the right hand side of the steering wheel here, you've got your cancel button and your main button if you want to cancel the lane keep assist, or if you want to cancel the adaptive cruise control. And what this button does is it basically allows you to gauge how many car lengths behind you want to follow when you put the cruise control on. So then the cruise control pretty much works the same as most cruise. I mean, press down to set, press up to resume, and then your heated steering wheel button is right here. So great features. And if the lane keep assist, if you want to turn that off, you can hit this one here. Again, this is your adaptive cruise. Really nicely appointed, I have to say. Okay, so on the left side of the steering wheel, you can see your light switch here. You've got the tilt for your high beams. It's in automatic mode right now, which means high beams will switch from high to low automatically. And the rate at which they switch is going to be controlled by, a lot of objects in front of you, reflective surfaces. There's a number of things. There's a camera in the top center of the windshield, and just be careful that you don't cover that because you would disable this feature. You can turn your lights on manually, you can put your parking lights on manually, and of course you can turn on your fog lights manually by just turning the dial like so. Very straightforward stuff. On the other side of the steering wheel, you've got your wiper operation, you've got off, intermittent, low, high, and then you can dial in the intermittent. You have the mist feature if you just want to tap it and just give a gentle wash on the windshield. Everything that you've come accustomed to in Honda vehicles. So now I'll just give you a close-up on the gauge assembly. The right side of the gauge is just an analog speedometer, fairly straightforward. The green button there, or the green indicator, that's your eco control. So I generally drive around in eco mode to keep the fuel economy hitting that 24 miles per gallon highway. I think it's 18 in the city. So the fuel mileage on the Trailsport is not bad at all. It's 27 degrees Celsius there, you can see, and there's your fuel tank indicator there, and the time is 7:39. So really straightforward stuff. It's the visibility is great. I don't have any complaints so far. I'm just really thrilled with the quality and innovation built into this vehicle. Okay guys, so I thought we would start our little test drive today by taking you down an unassumed road. Road not maintained, use at own risk. Ooh. So the Ridgeline is designed mostly for cottage roads, unserviced roads, potholes, rough roads, what have you. So let's take a little trek down here and you can get a bird's eye view of the kind of roads that the Trailsport is ideal for. So it rained last night, so this is basically, you know, small stones, rocks, gravel, loose gravel. Pretty much ideal for this vehicle. And you've got a nice little skid plate covering the engine if you decide to purchase a Trailsport model. That doesn't come on the base Sport model. So we've come down the hill no problem. Got some wet branches, you know, brushing up against the vehicle, but pretty easy stuff for this machine to go through. And you'll notice I'm just in regular D mode, like normal mode. I'm not in sport mode, and I'm not, I haven't selected sand, mud, or snow mode. So this is just your regular drive mode. And I think the VTM4 is going to handle this in grand fashion. So I'm just kind of idling along here at about 20 kilometers, and I will stop at the bottom of the hill here just to show you how easily the Trailsport's going to climb the hill. Like what I'm doing now is not taxing this vehicle in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so I'm pretty much at the bottom of the hill where we started, and you know, still in drive. I'm not feeling any slip whatsoever. And the Trailsport has come through like a champ, as expected. Okay, so the weather's changed. We made it to the top of Hogsback Road here, and now we're going to take the Trailsport for a little drive and just show you what it can do. Well, we're back to civilization anyways. And I just have it in regular drive mode, and I'm going to take the eco mode off. So like I've said already, it's not a racing car, but it's got lots of get up and go. So I wasn't speaking, so you get an idea what it sounds like in the interior of the vehicle. Honda's always done a really good job with NVH, and so I'm quite happy with the interior noise level. I've heard some people doing Ridgeline reviews, they're complaining, but it's probably just nitpicking if you ask me. For my fellow YouTubers, if you're looking from the GoPro Hero 8 here, you get a sense of what it takes to film something like this. So I've got the GoPro here, I've got the Pocket 3 suction to the roof, and I got my A7 IV just in behind me. And so if I switch to sport mode, really all that allows me is to use the paddle shifters, and I can hold the gear, or I can shift up, So it shows me on the dash, you won't be able to see this, but normally you would see a D. Now I'm seeing an S, and it says M5. And if I hit the right side paddle shifter, now it says SM6, SM7. So it's just allowing me to manually shift. And that's for if you're towing a trailer and you want to hold the gear longer, going up a hill, you've got the option to do that. It's a nice little feature, to be perfectly honest. The other option that you have, and that's right here, if you hit this button on the digital side of the dashboard, on the left hand side, you'll see the indicator. I'll press it here. So now it's in snow mode. I'll press it again, it's in mud, sand, and then it goes back to normal. So it just gives you a little bit extra torque distribution, depending on the terrain that you're driving in at any given time. So let's take a second and take a good look at the center of this vehicle. This is the brain of the vehicle, if you will. And so you've got a place to put your sunglasses. It doesn't have the reflective coating on it or the mirror finish. You've got two buttons, one for your sunroof, one for your rear window, two map lights, one on either side, and don't overlook the home link that's built into the rear view mirror. So you've got a center button for your auto day night mirror function, but you've got three buttons here that you can program to open your garage doors, and I find it very handy. Just take the remote control, instructions are in the manual, hold it up close, press the button, the light will flash, and then you press it again a couple of times and it's programmed in, and I find it really super handy. The center infotainment system, it's 9-inch and it's laid out really well. All icons, fairly responsive. And there's just a plethora of information that you can play with here. You know, if you need to make a phone call, you can connect your device. It'll come out, it'll show you your history, all that good stuff that you're used to. Down the bottom, there's a little sort of ridge here that I find very handy because you can rest your fingers on it when you're, you know, going to press the buttons. But you've got FM, a Bluetooth audio trip, smart shortcuts, and a display mode that you can switch back and forth. And then it's just a quick touch of the home button to go back. You know, if you want to listen to Sirius SM radio, Sirius XM, we'll go back. And one setting under vehicle settings that you want to make sure that you look at, and that is I think it's under the keyless access setup here. Make sure that your alarm, your auto alarm, is set to off by default. So that is when you put the vehicle in park, you shut the vehicle off and you get out of the vehicle and walk away, it's not going to auto lock. So here it is here, walk away auto lock. I can press this one and it's on. But by default, it will be off. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you set that. I was probably under the impression for about a week that mine was on, and I was actually walking away using the remote control to lock the doors. But you don't have to. It's built in. It's automatic. So there you go. So just below that, you've got your climate control system, really nicely laid out. Temperature controls, one on either side. You've got a sync button here. If you turn that off, then the missus can have one temperature, you can have the other, or you can sync the two. There's your mode, your fan controls, AC, recirc, auto on. There's your auto button, on, off, to turn the system on or off. And then you've got, if the kids are messing around with the climate control in the back, you can hit this button here and turn that off and lock them out. You've got your rear settings, your rear lockout, your front defogger, and your rear glass over the bed there is heated, and also your side mirrors. So that's controlled together, which is cool. You've got heated seats on this vehicle, one button on either side, and you've got 3 levels of heat. There's a little storage cubby down here. Just below that, we got a couple of USB ports and a 12-volt adapter port. So you really have a lot of amenities with this vehicle. And then the center console, I like the way this is laid out. You've got a nice big storage box here. I got all kinds of junk in here. You know, bits and bobs that I use for recording and such what, but there's your park button. Reverse, it made me think for a second because I kept trying to press down on it when I first got the vehicle. The button, you actually use your finger and you push it backwards. So, and then neutral, drive sport mode. There's your modes that you can change, the mode button there, and this is your idle off. You can lock it out. So if you come to a stoplight and things are moving kind of quickly, you might want to hit that and turn it off so the engine doesn't shut off. It starts up again pretty quick, but I find there are times when I do opt to use that one. And then you got two nice size cup holders here. So everything is really well laid out. You know, I know you guys are going to say, oh, you bought this, you're biased. I mean, before I bought this vehicle, as far as cars go, I had the Fit, and all I wanted was I'd put gas in the thing and drive it after, you know, 20 plus years in the auto industry. But I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with this vehicle. And there's a lot of people out there that are knocking the Ridgeline. Oh, it's not a full size. It doesn't have a 10,000 pound tow capacity. But there's a lot of great features on the vehicle that are a lot more practical to use than some of those larger vehicles. So, you know, it's a mid-size vehicle. You just have to decide for yourself what features you want and what you're going to do with the vehicle, what you're going to tow with it, and then make your best decision. But I can tell you that if you opt for this vehicle, you're not going to be disappointed. Okay, guys, so let's wrap this up. First, I'm going to do a bit of a shameless plug for Trent Valley Honda. You probably noticed on the license plate, you saw Trent Valley Honda. My salesman was Calvin LaRue, and I told him I'd give him a bit of a plug here. The sales experience, I have to say, was pretty good. So if you're interested in a Honda vehicle, check them out. As far as the Ridgeline Trailsport goes, I've got nothing but good things to say about it. You know, like I said, I bought the vehicle with my own money. My opinions are my own, and I've only had it for a couple of months now, and I absolutely love it. And I am a former Ford four-wheel drive owner. I had an inline six Ford with a, you know, 4-speed transmission. So I've got lots of experience with trucks, but this one is just a cut above in my humble opinion. And of course, the technology is a lot newer now. You know, the technology that's built into the vehicle is just phenomenal. It's going to keep you safe. And when you look at the overall package, right, you're starting from the front, you got a 3.5 liter V6 engine. You've got Honda's patented iVTEC. You've got VTM4 torque management, got a 9-speed CVT transmission for, you know, great power and fuel economy. You've got some good wheels on it. And don't forget, the Trailsport has a 1-inch lift kit on it. So the wheels are a little bit more aggressive than on the Sport model. You've got extra inch of height for those cottage roads or non-service roads. You've got a fantastic bed that you can reach in and grab your stuff fairly easily. You've got the hidden trunk in the back. It's all connected to the anti-theft system. So if you found this video useful, hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell for me. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, connect in. I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. And that's it for this one, guys. Have a great summer. We'll see you in the next one.